What's up, guys? All or Nothing Show. My name's Austin. Got Brock Covington here, and we got a guest. He swung by, the big D himself.
How's Mix?
Miles Chicks Fit.
Yeah.
I think I'm
What's
the
up,
most
Miles?
reoccurring. Am I the most reoccurring?
Probably.
We were looking at the original
Yeah, I was about to bring that
episodes
up.
a little bit ago. You were on, and then obviously you came on another time. This has to be like fourth or fifth.
At least fourth, if not
yeah.
fifth.
I literally just kind of like come on. I don't really like ask or like
Yeah,
get
it's just-
invited.
no, it's good.
It's like, hey, are y'all
Yeah.
recording today?
Yeah. I like having you on, not only because it's good to see you,
Yeah.
but also you're more like free wing with the thoughts and the ideas, so it's good to kind of bullshit. And
I think a lot of people are too scared to say what's on their mind most of the time, and you're pretty good at putting it out what's on your mind. You know, you don't hold back. You're willing to argue.
Yeah,
Most people don't. Most people avoid that. They're like,
Just-
oh, I'm gonna agree and just smile.
I hate that. Like,
Yeah.
and you can tell when they disagree with everything you say. They're like, yeah. I'm like,
Yeah. Or they get quiet and like, okay.
And on especially a podcast is not good.
No.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
no. Or
Even though y'all do it pretty well, like because y'all agree on a lot of the same
lot.
things.
Yeah.
But like y'all usually are complaining about something and
Yeah.
y'all can like vent about it.
Yeah,
Y'all,
yeah, we
venting
can like
about it.
mutually rant. Yeah.
Y'all are like two old men on
Well,
definitely
the
there.
problem is, this is what we were talking about too. Is I feel like we're both boomers with a lot of things, even though, you know, he's got I guess more of a reason to be a boomer because he's got 10 years on me. But I feel like mentally, I'm a bit of a boomer too with the Instagram and like TikTok and all. Like I've still refused to get on TikTok and. You know, I've like dabbled with reels, but I still feel weird doing them, and like I still don't want to. You know, I was telling him my recent reel did pretty good, but part of it was probably because I picked a certain like song that like, you know, is catchy right now, or
Yeah.
whatever the audio or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I normally would just want to choose a song that I actually like or whatever, but it just doesn't do as well. So there's like a balance of, you know, keeping up with the trends and all that, keeping up with what we were talking about, the metaverse and NFTs and, you know, all these coins and shit.
It's very overwhelming.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think it's good to know about everything, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's good to, like, know or be aware.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know what I don't want to do.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
And
want
it's
to be
like-
that grandpa, right, where I look at, like, my parents and they don't understand social media at all. And I'm like,
Oh, you are.
I'm like,
You
well, I
are.
know. And I'm like, I get, you know, why my parents don't, but there's no excuse. Or, like, some clients I work with for video editing, right, they don't understand the slightest what a thumbnail is or how to use Google Drive or whatever like that. You know, this guy was talking about Google Drive issues. That's what I hear.
Oh yeah, for sure. I still like I'm
But-
like, do I have multiple pages? Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway.
but anyway, I feel like there's no excuse to not know some of the basics. But now I'm turning into that person where it's like, you know, I don't understand the TikTok. I've like refused to get on it. You know, with the modern music, I don't like at all what Peyton listens to.
Yeah.
But I know kids like that stuff because I come in the morning and I can see on the playlist like what's playing like the night before because we have most like younger like powerlifters come in later. And it's completely different music. It's like Suicide Boys and Bones and Corpse and all this weird shit to me. And I'm, you know, you and me are closer with music. You
I'm
know,
still stuck in, like, the 90s
we're stuck
and
in the
2000s,
80s,
man.
90s, early 2000s. You know, got Nickelback and Creed. You know,
Shit.
but I don't know. I got to get with it a little bit.
I literally, I think we talked about it before, but I try. Like I legit try because
You told me, yeah, you're like force yourself to listen to like an album or something.
yeah, like every Friday I'll try to listen to at least one new album, even if I don't like it, even if
Yeah.
I'm not familiar. But if it's a popular album, I'm like, it's popular for a reason. Like I'm not like, oh, this all sucks, which I might not like it, but I believe like it's popular for a reason, and I'm just like, all right, well, you know, like when we were talking about Moggin.
Yeah.
I was
you
like,
looked that up
bro,
later?
how did I miss that? I thought I was hip. Like, what is going on?
Nah, you're behind it, dude.
Yeah,
The trends move so quick, though.
Yeah.
You know?
not
Yeah,
only
like
trends.
some at best last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Peyton or like Maddie will tell me that a certain audio or a certain trend, right, and like a reel of TikTok lasts 3-4 days maybe, and then if you try and hop on, it's too late. Like no one, it's not the thing anymore.
I mean, honestly, I just feel like with Reels, or TikTok is just like everything else. It's like you spend a little bit of time on it, you understand. But the thing
Yeah.
is that it's weird is, well, it's really cool, especially on Reels, is that like it will show you what is working for your niche. Like
Yeah.
the same sounds are there repeatedly, and then it's like, for me, I found that like I like using both. So like, I may use like the sound that I don't like that isn't like
Yeah.
for me, and not post it on my timeline, and it'll still do okay. Like I'm not saying it goes crazy or nothing. And the songs I like, I'll use those and post those on my timeline because like I look at it as like reels is natural engagement, like in good like
Yeah.
was it insights or reach.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, I'm gonna be trendy for that, and I don't really want to put it on what my people know me for. You know
Yeah, I
what I'm
haven't
saying?
fiddled too much with not posting on my feed, but I know that you have the option to. I just haven't gone that route yet.
Yeah. I mean, it like sometimes it'll hit, and sometimes it
Sometimes it
doesn't. But
doesn't,
like,
yeah.
I really don't. Honestly, I used to care. I mean, I still do care. Like, if I'm getting like nothing, I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
God.
You know what's a funny side note? I feel like Miles has something to say about this. So we were talking, I think at Christmas, like Eve dinner or something like that. With we were talking to like Maddie's family, and her stepdad was like joking about either TikTok or Reels, and I don't remember what. I think he was talking about her younger brother's like Reels or whatever, and like, you know, it shows you what you're typically into or what you're looking at a lot, right? And so you gotta see where this is going. So every freaking reel is just chicks, big tits, just dancing or whatever, and it's like, you know, just next post, it's just over and over, and it's just so funny because I was thinking about that is like so much what, you know, I don't know about you guys, but like most of my like explore page is like dogs because I like, you know, looking at like my dog shit or other dogs, lifting of course, get some running, and then it's just, you know, hot chicks dancing or whatever. And it's just funny because it's like, you know, they just like force it in your throat. And I was thinking about it yesterday. I was talking to Maddie, and I was like, I cannot imagine having TikTok or Instagram Reels when I was like 14, 15, 16 coming up, dude. It would just be constant ass and tits just going
Well,
through.
do you remember like, or
It's softcore porn.
it's still this way now, but like on Twitter, like some people's Twitter timeline is literally actually just porn because they can
Yeah.
show that stuff on there.
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
Like I remember one time I was on Twitter scrolling. I'm laying next to Sam. I'm scrolling. I'm falling asleep. And I doze off, and I wake up, and my thumb is just sitting on a girl naked, like just sitting there.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh shoot!" Like,
You know what I fuck up with sometimes? I don't have to worry about Maddie watching this, but
That's
she knows what I do sometimes. But I'll just be talking to her, right? I'll be like beside her, and I'll just be like scrolling, and then just out of instinct, I'll click something just because, you know, whatever the thumbnail is, and then I'm like, oh shit, now what am I doing? You know? And because she'll be like, what are you watching? Nothing.
I don't know what
You
it,
know, it really is instinctual.
bright colors.
It's not like
Yeah.
I'm not staring. I don't follow these accounts. I don't follow one.
Let me see those DMs.
But they just and I don't get DM, you know. But it's just like instinctive. You just see it and you're like, oh, boobs, you know.
I mean,
It's
as
natural
men,
male
like
brain.
we like that. I don't think. I mean,
Nothing.
I try to
wrong
be
with it.
respectful as much as
Yeah.
possible. Oh, I thought you were
course, yeah.
looking at me a certain type of way. It was just hot.
Hot as fuck.
Like I try to be respectful. Like I try not to check out girls in front of Sam.
Yeah.
And Sam's not
Same
gonna
with
listen to
me,
this,
yeah.
but I mean, at least as men, I don't know about women. I think they do too. But like, it's just natural. Like it's
Well,
just
and
very
it's not
natural.
like you fixate on it. You like, okay, watch it. All right, close it on to the next one. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's not like you're stuck there 30 minutes or you're like scrolling through the girl's page or whatever. It's not like that. It's just almost like, you know, the short attention span of social media where you see it, you're like, huh, and you go to the next one, you know, and just move on.
What's on your Explore page, Austin?
Do we need to break out all of ours?
I mean, we could, but mine's filming.
Mine,
But-
yeah.
Let
Let me see.
I
what
don't think
mine's
it's that
looking like.
crazy. I think-
mine's looking sus right
I think
now.
mine has a lot of cats because, like, you know,
Yeah, I
you'll
see.
be going through the timeline and go get those like 3 story like reels
Yeah.
in a row. Is that on Facebook or Instagram? I don't know.
That's Facebook.
Well, anyways, on that, there's definitely cats. Like 2 out of 3 is
Yeah,
gonna be
big
cats.
cat
They just do dumb shit in
Yeah.
videos, and I'll watch it,
You're
like
like,
the
"Oh."
cat fails and shit. It's like,
guy.
oh,
Yeah.
but
That's how I am with dogs, yeah.
and that other cat, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Mine, look, I've been studying like younger, like this is gonna sound so weird, but like younger. Speaking of, never mind, I'm not gonna say his name. I've been studying like younger, like guys and like younger, the
Yeah.
younger.
You like
crowd.
watching little boys? That's
Yeah,
okay,
it's
man.
okay.
And
Some people
if
like
you
it.
look at look at mine right now. Okay, there's one. but
Young
it's
aesthetic,
Oh
literally
like-
just
shit!
like-
All right,
That's the thing. Yeah, that's kind of sus.
suspect for
That's
sure.
the thing with bodybuilding, though, is like it's kind of borderline, a little bit like homosexual sometimes. Like like if you didn't know the sport, right?
Yes.
And you walk in your son's room, he's got a bunch of like half naked dudes, especially like young, let's say dudes off TikTok, and you're like, all right, what's this going on? But obviously you understand the sport, you're admiring the physique.
A lot of people see that, like for that picture. I'm not trying to
And
get
they
y'all to
get
look at me, and they're
attracted.
like, "Well, everybody typically does, but goes from 6 to midnight or whatever."
No.
But
Boing.
they always say, like people that don't know bodybuilding, "Oh, you're naked. You're naked on the
Yeah.
wall." It's like, no, I'm not naked.
My-
It's bodybuilding.
My dad, man.
It's a sport.
My dad, he's like, "Oh, dang, G-strings." Like, man, Ma, this. I'm like, man, Ma, this gay. Cut this off.
Yeah.
I'm like, shut up. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, no, we ain't watching this. My dad's so,
Yeah.
you know, I
Yeah.
mean, who cares?
But
He's so
again, like
homophobic.
if you don't understand the sport or follow it, it's like it is just a bunch of dudes in G-strings. You're like, what's different from this in like downtown Miami, you know?
Yeah, true.
So
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for me, it's like when I'm looking at the Explore page, like I said, I'm just like, okay, why is this average looking dude like popping? Like,
Yeah.
you know, and I go study their page, like because I mean I care about it. I know like y'all might not as much, but like I care about like learning, like what are they doing?
What's
Are they
working,
saying
yeah.
noggin? Like
What typically makes these people that you find, like on the majority of the time, like these people that don't look that great, they're like a 6 out of 10, physique wise or face wise, whatever.
I mean, a lot of it depends. Like people that are like booming, they know some. They're like are, like in a group.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then like other dudes, I'm not gonna lie, it's usually like a white TikTok looking
Mhm.
guy, like got the shaggy.
yeah,
front
the
hair.
shaggy. I was trying to
Ben.
explain to him.
Yeah.
I was trying to explain to him that like the big thing right now is like really shaved on the sides and like this curly shaggy hair
Yeah.
on top.
Yeah.
And I was watching because I've never watched any of these like young cats that you know all you know Peyton, these other people talk about like Will Tennyson and like Anthony Mantello. So I watched this video with that Anthony kid. With,
I don't like
with,
that guy.
I don't know much about it, but I was watching it with Chris Bumstead.
Mm-hmm.
And what I took away from it was that, like, there are these, like, long, mostly unedited videos. So you feel like you're in the room with them. You get a feel for, like, a lot of it isn't physique. It's more just bros being bros, making jokes, like, having fun,
Yeah.
and showing their lifestyle. So it doesn't feel as, like, it feels more attainable or realistic. Like, you feel like you're involved with them. And then I was laughing, though, because they were training at, like, the Revive Gym. And Chris Bumstead was joking because he's like, hey, you know, working out with you and, like, all these other young, you know, influencers
Yeah.
that in here, they act like I'm the old guy. You know, Chris is
Yeah.
like 25, and they act like he's the old head in there. And it's funny because it's like, A, he's not that old, but B, trends do change so fast, and, like, he's
Going out almost.
he's what do you call it, famous or like, you know, an influencer for a completely different reason. He's like actually competes, does whatever. These other kids are kind of, you know, they might compete a little bit, and some of them have great physiques, but for the most part, it is like you said, they're just these like skinny, lean, you know, 19-year-old kids with personalities. You know,
Have y'all seen the dude Sush?
yeah.
So-
Isn't that super tall? He's like
Asian.
Pacific Islander looking dude. Yeah.
He so they
I'll put him up for y'all.
the young whippersnappers put me on him,
Yeah.
And,
See, yeah, they know this stuff, dude.
and I never heard the guy, and he's just kind of like a troll, but it's crazy. Like he's killing it. He's gonna be like the next like big guy. Like I can tell now he's gonna be the
At
next. Like,
first, I thought he kind of had a shitty physique, or like not shitty, but
he's
like
on like
meh.
trend.
But he's super tall. Like I didn't realize how tall he
He
was.
is. He does look tall, like stretched out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like he's gotta be
6'3",
6'4".
6'4",
Yeah.
yeah. But like, if you look, he'll do a Q&A, and someone's like, "How do you deal with like staying motivated off a cycle?" He's like, "Hop back on." Like,
I
Yeah.
said that
but
too.
it's so
I
crazy
wonder if
because-
these kids are gonna fall off when they realize that, like, you know, they may not want to be on SARMs, these steroids forever. They don't know the consequences. You know.
I think they'll just stay on forever.
Maybe.
I mean, I think, man, it's so weird. Like going back to the skinny, you know, lean look.
Yeah.
It's like rap, right? It's, you know, back in the day, the rappers, like they took rap serious. It was battles. Like that was the way they got up. And now it's like rappers come in and they don't care about being the best
They just
rapper.
gotta look the part.
They just look the part,
Yeah.
or just have a good sound, or, you know, do something different, and that's what makes them who they are. And that's what like the fitness industry is now. Like, but like,
It's a good comparison.
yeah, but it's so crazy because, I mean, you know, I know you guys are more so like all right, this is how it should be, and like,
We're traditionalists.
yeah, but
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I think like even when Peyton and them are older, the guys under him they're gonna feel the exact same way. It's gonna keep happening. They're gonna feel the exact same way. This is gonna be what the fitness industry was, and now it's this, and it's not the same. And then those next kids are gonna feel the same way. And I just feel like, for me, I'm like, okay, I have to adjust and like like try again.
Part of the nostalgia, I feel like, and when we had you last on, was I talking about how I was getting nostalgia with watching old YouTubers? Or is that someone else?
I don't know because I watch all y'all shows, so like I
Yeah.
can't remember.
But
if I'm
anyway,
on it or
point
not.
is, I was watching another, like, just randomly, because I kind of got off that trend, but I was watching another Matt Ogus video this morning, like, before workout, and it's from, like, 6 years ago, and it just made me think, I feel like the difference is when we would watch Christian Guzman, Max Tuning, Matt Ogus, whoever, they weren't really making a ton of money as influencers. Like, they had influence, but so, they were still, like, in the trenches kind of working, and 2, we were kind of following along with our own workouts, our own progress along with them, so we felt like there was a sense of a parallel,
Yeah, but you just said
versus-
the same thing with Antonio though.
So
or whatever it
yes,
is.
but the difference is, so like let's say Peyton might feel a parallel to Anthony, right? Closer in age, similar goals, whatever. But the difference is these kids have already achieved a shit ton of fame, affiliates, all that wasn't really there at the time that these previous generations were. You know what I mean? So they got I guess the reward a lot faster to where they're already living in LA, they're already going to Zoo Gym, they're already doing all this stuff
Making
versus
$60,000 a month.
versus Matt Ogus was at
Retarded
LA
shit.
Fitness doing hoist machines, training for his, meet or his prep, whatever it is. So it's just, I feel like that's a small difference,
It's a difference to us though. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
It's
yeah.
like to them, they're gonna feel literally the same way. They're gonna feel just as like, and that's one thing that like I've been working on just recently is like, when you go in the gym, you don't have a good workout, you're like, oh, man. You're kind of like almost mad about it. But like
Yeah.
when you're younger, you're like, I'm just having fun in here. Like I'm not really
Mhm.
worried about hitting this program and stuff. I think that's the difference. Like I think like as you get older and you turn things into like more so like that job almost than like making it just fun. Like before I used to work out every day. I used to work out at 6:30. I used to come home, eat something, watch YouTube videos, Bradley Martin, Callum,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
for whatever I was working out, and go to the gym and like have fun and want to be there. And when I finished, I was like, dang
Yeah.
man, I want to stick around. And like
Those were the
now I'm
days.
like, man, I gotta get in. Hopefully I don't know anyone in here, like whatever. And I think it's just the difference. Like in the age, they're gonna feel the exact same way. They're gonna be 20-something years old and be like, "Dang man, like it's not the same, bro. These YouTubers, they just like got rainbow hair now." Like you know what I
Fitness
mean?
has an interesting turnover rate that I feel like people ignore. For example, let's say 100 people. Well,
Eyeball.
let's do a smaller number. Let's say 10 people get into fitness in like high school, college, right?
Mhm.
How many of them are still lifting 5 years from then? Maybe 5 of them. Okay, then how
Yeah.
many more are lifting like 5 more years after that? So 10 full years lifting, maybe 2 or 3.
3.
Yeah, so fitness has this interesting turnover rate where high school and college is a big, especially for men, but women too, big boost of want to look better, feel better. You have the energy, you have more of the time, and a little bit more flexibility with money.
I think most people get lost in their jobs. their
Yeah,
9 to
you
5s
get
and
lost in
shit.
your job, your 9 to 5s, your routine
Family,
changes. Like you
knocked
said,
up.
you might not have the same schedule, the same influences. Yeah, and I don't know if that doesn't really change. Like what we're talking about with these influencers, but it's just interesting because I feel like the spike of your excitement and interest for the gym starts to slowly fizzle out.
For
when
sure.
you aren't having as much fun. You're still having
Yes.
fun, but you have to find newer sources of motivation and excitement when the gains slow down.
100%.
Yeah.
So not that I'm trying to sound like y'all's dad or something like that, but I am a little older. I've been
Papa.
lifting for like 12 years, since
Yeah.
like 2010. And those people that I remember like 2010 to 2013 at Gold's Gym Mechanicsville, all those
Mhm.
at least 95% of them don't lift anymore. Or if they do, it's like once a week and they're going out getting fucked up every day. Like they were going to be bodybuilders, back then. Everybody wanted to be.
Bro.
And I'm sure the kids do now. They're like, oh, I'm going to be a
Everyone
social
wants
media
to be,
influencer
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I'm going to be this. 2 years later, you're going to be fucking working a 9 to 5, not doing a damn thing. Most likely. I'm not
No, it's
going to
like-
say.
no, for real. Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I don't want to get your hopes up, but most likely you will. And I've gotten to that point when you said like, oh, your motivations have to change. Like my motivation back then was like, oh, I'm going to take these drugs. I'm going to get big as shit. I'm going to
Big
get
as
strong
shit,
as shit. I'm going to get spotlighted. I'm going to get seen. And this is like kind of when Instagram popped off. So it was like, oh, shit. Shreds might fucking see us or something like that or fucking whatever. Bodybuilding, I was going to be I think I even had my name as like NPC Austin like way back in the day on my tag. So it was like, I thought I was going to be a big time bodybuilder. But now it's like, I don't know. Now it's moved from a goal of being like, it still can be like, look at me, but more in like a hopefully inspiration, motivation way instead of like, oh, look how big I'm getting. Instead of now it's like, look, I'm going to complete these goals now, or I'm starting to see a little bit more that I can push myself in different ways. I don't know. I see myself, I've transitioned from drugs, get big, get huge for like the clout or like the bodybuilding to now it's like, I want to see how far I can just push myself. I don't care if anybody's on board with it or not, really.
Well, let me ask you this. I got two, because I love that you say that.
Yeah.
Two things. How does that make you feel? Like, how does it make you feel like that you had those dreams and basically they didn't work out? How does that make you feel? Like, honestly.
Well, looking back on it, like if I could honestly say it, I don't know, not gullible. I shouldn't have gotten into it to begin with because I had no chance. So I think I wasted a lot of time. Looking back, I wish I would have did something different. Like instead of focusing on bodybuilding, focused on YouTube or like actually like putting out value instead of just let me see how many drugs I can pump to see how big I can get, how much weight I could put on. Because I think it was a lot of wasted time for myself. At least like my first 3-4 years of lifting back then.
Do you think you feel like it was a waste of time because you used drugs, or do you think it would have been a waste of time for you regardless?
I should have posted more about like instead of just posting.
So you're saying instead of focusing on like your own like goals and physique, you wish you would have basically transitioned your goals more towards financial or business or branding rather than
I think so. Or like
competing.
I wish back then when I was doing a lot of that and dabbling with it for the first time, I was more open, and it wasn't back then. It still kind of isn't now, but like
No, it is now. That's
being
what I'm
like,
saying.
I think I could have blown up back then if I would have talked about, hey, I'm about to start this DECA D-ball and trend stack. Like, see you in 6 weeks. I want to show you all the whole process. I'm going to gain 30 pounds, you know?
Do you regret it, though? Like, do you, like, because honestly, it goes back to, like, being the older guy. Because, I mean, you're a little bit older. I started working out in 2012, so 2 years. But, like, I'm about to be 28 next month. And I'm like, man, as I'm looking at these kids that are popping off and doing their thing, I'm like, bro, no one cares about a 28-year-old. Like, what this man's doing. They want to see the 24-year-old that they can obtain, like Brock was saying.
Yeah, but there's still people that can
For
connect
sure.
with you, but not as many because most of the demographic is that
So
20
I'll
to
say-
21.
Because they don't have the time, because they
No.
don't care. It's like, bro, I'm not worried about this other dude my age is doing. I got to go to work tomorrow morning.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll say there's almost though there's another
Lie about your age,
subset-
bro.
Yeah. There's another subset, though, of an audience that's growing that is past that younger youth kind of thing. And I think the brands, the influencers that surround the younger generation with bodybuilding is definitely bigger than the next that I'm about to talk about. But a lot of the brands that I try to, like, work with or that I see work with some other athletes that I know are looking for more of those middle-aged men or like new dads, right? Because that's a big set, is trying to get dads into fitness, middle-aged men in their late 20s and their late 30s, right? Trying to get them into fitness. I mean, that's a big, subset of people too, that they don't want the young kid who doesn't have facial hair pushing a product, right?
Yeah.
Because that's not going to relate to those like
Fucking
older
TikTok.
populations, right? So there's not, let's say, as much money to be made, but there's numerous brands that I could name that are looking for that 28 to 38, male that's, family man
For
or
sure.
corporate or whatever,
Yeah, I think so. And I think also, like, I mean, it's crazy you say that because that's, like, literally been on my mind just pretty crazy lately. Like I said, especially as I'm doing the more, like, learning about these young guys and seeing why they're working and whatever. And I'm like, man, like, why would this young guy want to be, like, care about where I'm at right now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Compared to the guy that is killing it
Mhm.
5 years younger than me.
Yeah, you got to be trying to, like, market, I guess, to the people that are closer to you or people that would aspire to be more
Yeah.
like you. Like,
And
like 20-year-old is more well, I'm not power past 20 and 21, but you know what I mean.
This
Like
motherfucker. He's
But-
on the inside.
yeah, I'm
For
on
real.
the inside. I'm undercover. I'm secretly a 40-year-old just in this body. Yeah. You know what I mean, though.
But I think there's also a sticky point with being like a little older, late 20s, early 30s, is you trying to be influential in that age group. Most, like you said, most of these people don't care, and they almost get. I can see sometimes when I post shit that it almost gets like a little bit of like, not negative, but like
They
people.
say, okay, boomer.
Well, yeah, no, like people that are my age or a little bit older. They're like, oh, fuck this
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
All he does is work out, and like I actually got a
yeah.
job, or
Yeah.
I got, like they get like bitter that
Yeah.
they see
Yeah.
that, and they're like, oh, this guy's doing what he wants, you know.
Yeah.
Not that I'm doing everything
then-
I want, but I get to kind of do what I want,
Yeah.
and people do hate that.
On the flip side, though, it is inspirational. Though it's like, wow, like you actually are this age, and you actually are still doing this. Like,
Yeah,
I need to get like that, or I need to get back in it. But I think, like, unfortunately, I think there's plenty of money to be made in it. But I feel like the unfortunate side of it is like that reality, especially if they've escaped. Like, you know, when you go back to those 10 that started, and then it's like the 5, and then now it's only 3. It's like they're gonna fall off. So like they might, you know, book that one membership or with
Yeah.
you for that time, but then they're like, man, like I'm gonna go to work. You know what I'm saying? And I think for me, like personally, when I look at things, I'm like, man, the young kids, like they rule it all. Like going back to the metaverse, it's like it doesn't matter what we think,
It
because
doesn't.
the thing is, like, I don't care about the metaverse. I mean, I think it's gonna
Yeah.
be pretty cool, but like it doesn't matter, because in 10 years from now, and the kids are already on the Oculus. They've been on them for a couple of years. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be the way it is, and you're gonna be.
and I'm gonna be talking like, you remember how good a real blowjob felt?
Yeah.
Bro, but,
Yeah.
but like, you know what I'm
You
saying?
got this suction machine just pumping you off. with
Grandpa
your fucking
Austin, what's a
plump, plump,
blowjob?
plump, plump,
Yeah.
plump, plump.
Yeah.
You just walk. Someone walks in, like.
It's got this machine, this fucking
Yeah.
octopus machine sucking you off with your VR
Yeah.
goggles on.
Oh,
I
man.
mean, hey, to be honest, 2020.
Hey, don't talk back though.
2028,
Yeah.
Don't talk
Right,
back.
2028. That might be crazy.
don't,
like,
don't talk back.
Yeah.
That might feel
You want a second
replica.
round?
Yeah.
Okay.
That might be crazy. If you think about it, you don't gotta worry about STDs, no crazy
you're
girls.
right.
You gotta be getting pregnant. and
That's
it's
when the
probably
human
gonna
race
feel
ends.
Yeah, no, that's when you start having the baby with the robot. You know,
Yeah.
you start getting the mutated kid.
Damn.
It's
Comes
cra-
out
it's crazy,
cyborg.
man. I feel old though. I ain't gonna lie. I feel old, and I don't. No, I do feel old.
I feel older each time I get on like and I see a reel with like especially the trendy music and like
Mhm.
the transitions where they'll get like a transition from like the light halo thing and shit like
Yeah, I was like,
shit
what
that
is
I would
that?
probably never do myself. It's just not me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man,
you
I
know
feel
what's a
that much
big thing
older.
too, and we talked about this with and I'm sure Peyton's listening to this, so maybe
Call
he-
him out.
Yeah, no,
Shout
it's
out
like
to
a good thing
Peyton.
though. We've talked about it. Peyton's got a lot of confidence that I
Oh, a
never
ton.
had at that age. I still don't have. Like you relate this way too about like showing your physique.
Yeah.
I still feel like
Me
very
too.
nervous to pose or show my physique, and if I do, it's only in like certain angles or certain things. And it's not that I think I look like shit, but I just don't have that confidence of like. And I don't think Peyton's doing it in like a look at me way, but that's how I feel like people would perceive me. You
I
know?
see myself as not being shit.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
like,
he,
I'm
I
not
think
worth
he
it.
was either born that way or he was raised that way. I don't
think it's a
that's-
little bit of that, but it's also I think more the younger kids, the influencers, do it all the time, so it's not that weird. You
Yeah,
know?
they see it as a blueprint.
Yeah, so. But it's just a thing that I remember going through like high school. I was nervous to post any fitness content. I really didn't until like I got to be a senior, and I felt like okay, I have a little bit of strength, a little bit of physique, and like Maddie started to be like a little bit of some support that I could lean on because I didn't have most kids were just like making jokes about me lifting in like high school, like oh you think you're big or this or that. or
Babe, you're
whatever.
not that small.
Yeah,
But see,
yeah.
that's the difference
So-
right there, though, because all the other kids his age are doing it because
Yeah,
they've been watching
that's what
that
I
mess.
mean.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
They're
It's
like
more,
used to it.
It's
Yeah.
more of like a common hobby now versus at the time. I mean, there might have been 2 or 3 other kids at my high school that actually did it as bodybuilders and not just as every once in a while lift for like school.
It's kind of weird, and I don't think it was the standard, but like 2013, 12 on Instagram, like the only people that were really shirtless were the fucking jacked motherfuckers that you would at least there you'd see because you didn't.
The
I guess
shreds guys.
there wasn't as much exploring. You followed who you followed, and if you didn't follow somebody else like back then, you didn't get to see a lot of new shit.
Yeah.
So like the 300 people you followed was like the 300 chronologically you saw every day.
Yeah, I think.
So,
yeah.
I would only see big 280-pound motherfuckers taking their shirts off and like posing, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm not that. I'm not gonna take my shirt off then.
I think of a good 2014 was when I feel like it kind of started
Yeah.
like, coming to my attention. Like I was working
Ziz.
out a little bit for basketball at 2012, And then like 2014, I think I could not stop hearing about Christian Guzman in the gym. And then I think I saw him on Facebook, Cali Muscle. Was it Cali Muscle?
Bro, we were just talking about Cali Muscle
Yeah.
before this because I put
We're-
his
Pump.
put his
Pump.
song. If you remember this song, I put it on my story
My
today,
dad loves him.
and it was get big, you know, we pumping. Curl,
That's the new.
motherfucker.
That's the new album I want you listening to this
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah,
What?
you gotta
The
listen.
hype.
To
That
hyphy?
no, it's called Money and Muscle by Cali Muscle. You gotta listen to the whole thing through.
let us know how it goes
I'll
Friday.
listen to it for real. Wait, it's about to come out?
No,
it's like
I'll listen
2012
to
or
it
something.
today.
It's way back. Yeah,
Nah,
it's about
honestly,
to come out. We should have told him
Drop
was.
it.
Yeah.
Cali Muscle called me big fella, and I took
Hey,
that
big
to heart.
fella.
Oh, you did it dark.
I feel like he's kind of like country a little bit, like
Yeah.
kind of country southern a little bit.
Yeah.
So I feel like he probably calls everybody big. Hey, big
He's
champ,
not
big
really
fella.
country though.
But it's not. But it's like a southern thing, maybe.
How many
I don't know. He doesn't seem like
influencers-
a very like upstate guy, even though he's probably from
He's
like.
from Oakland.
Which, all right, well, that's kind of up there. But like every time I hear him, the accent's like, oh man, like like a
Yeah.
country, like southern.
More
Nah,
Southern,
that's
yeah.
an LA accent. Those
Is it?
Yeah.
It's weird. I'm
Shit,
big.
alright.
Yeah. They their end of their words like kind of like it sounds.
They
weird,
have
but
like a
curl.
draw to
Yeah,
him, you
yeah,
know, like
they do,
country
they do.
draw. Like, oh man,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's country.
Yeah, I
can't
know what you
breathe.
mean.
yeah. Well,
What
we
were
just
you
said
about
his
to
heart
say?
looks like it's about.
Oh,
to
I was gonna
explode.
say like,
He did have a heart.
you probably met more of these people, especially going to like Alpha Elite and things like that, than I have. But you know, I haven't. One, I don't care a ton to like meet these people because it's more like it's not that I don't look up to them because I do in some sense, but it's almost I know all about them and watch a lot of things that they do, and they've never heard of me in their life. So it's weird when you know like when you're gonna have a conversation with like Seth Ferrosi, like when I went and met him at the Arnold in 2018. It's like I shook his hand. I was like, you know, thank you for like making great videos, blah blah. But it's like, what is he really gonna like say? You know, he's like, oh,
What can
thanks.
you
You know,
say?
yeah. What can you say? And then when I met Chris Bumstead, he seemed so like over it at the expo. It was like a Sunday, so it's like third day.
Yeah.
Oh, you're like
He
3
seemed
hours
like-
in.
He seemed like he didn't even really want to be there, and you know, I mean, he always like you know smiled and shook my hand or whatever. We took a picture.
I
but it
don't
was
blame
more
people like that.
I don't either. That's why I feel like
do.
I don't
I
even
do.
really want to.
You think they should hold it up for 8 hours, 12 hours, like
This is the
3 days in
thing,
a
though.
row?
All right, look, because I've seen it in Chris's videos. Because like I pay attention to their like literally facial features, and he's like, "Bro, I'm over this." But like the thing is like he kind of signed up for it, and I feel like
I mean, you did.
not only did he sign up for it,
But I'm gonna be
like-
mad at you.
but like at the same time, it's like if you don't like these people, yeah, maybe one, two, how many other people, but like if you don't have these people, then you're nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like you signed up for this.
Well, you can't be a straight dick for sure.
You're working 8 hours out of the day. Like, who cares? Like, you're not working a 9 to 5. And I mean, I would be tired, but I feel like I care so much about what that person thinks of me, and like knowing they might have stood in line for 3 hours. Like, they didn't want to stand in line for 3 hours just to meet you. Like, you know, like I feel like I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm sure a lot of them. I don't think Chris is really, but like our characters online and stuff like that. Come on, be a character for me. Like,
yeah,
you know, not be a character being all like if you're like a
spazzy.
Matt or something like
Yeah.
that. A Matt, what's his name? No, is it not Matt? What's his
You know about
name?
Max?
Max.
tuning?
Yeah, shoot,
yeah.
I call him Matt. But you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I've
'Cause
heard he's very different off camera.
I don't like Max.
I don't either.
I don't like him.
Out of all of them, that's the first one that I heard about since he was from Richmond.
Yeah.
Because my buddy that I work with was like, yeah, I know this. I lift with this guy. We lift once or
Mhm.
twice a week together. He was a
He was at
powerlifter
the
too.
weight room forever.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, we train at the weight room. He's like, he just sold out of like 2,000 shirts in like 24 hours. He's fucking crushing it. It was like, I was like, who?
I bought his like second generation.
And I
shirt.
followed up with him. I was like, oh shit, this guy's got a little bit of a following. He's still training at VCU and like the
Mhm.
weight room and shit like that. And then there's like, my buddy was like, yeah, he just sold out of like 3,500 shirts. I was like, what the fuck?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was like 2013, 2014.
Shout out to him, but I personally had a bad experience with him twice. And like,
And my
Like in
thing
person
is-
or just like
yeah,
what?
in
go ahead,
person,
tell
yeah?
about that.
Shit.
Yeah.
like I thought.
Give
I
us
said
the
this.
tell-all.
Yeah.
So, hey, shout out to him if he ever. I'm being fake as I'm. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. But I was shout out to my sister.
Yeah.
The first show I did, they hosted. Christian learned he can't do that anymore. He hosted a after party at this club called Clay in Houston, and Christian was there. He got bombarded the whole time. That's why I say he can't do it no more. But my sister, shout out my sister, got me a VIP with Christian and Chris Jones and all of them.
Nice.
She also projected.
Is Chris
outside
Jones
here.
cool?
I thought he was a football player. He's very much so. He like I mean in the club especially he follows me actually.
Yeah.
He
I feel like he's probably a funny dude. He seems like he's himself.
I don't know who Chris Jones is.
yeah, he's like supposedly OG over Christian.
Yeah.
No,
Um,
he's very OG. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Is
But-
that his IG name?
Beast Mode Jones.
Beast
Okay, I've
Mode
heard of
Jones.
that
He used
guy.
to be on Physiques of Greatness was the original YouTube. Then he
Yeah, I
went to
don't know
Pump
that.
Chasers.
But
Well-
I think I've seen his page though.
Well, Max was in there, and I was like, "Yo, Max, like I wasn't like, hey, bro, let me get a
Yeah.
picture with you." Like I'm not like that at all. Like, and I was like, "Hey, Max, like, yo, I'm from Richmond too." He was like, and turn around, just turn around, and walked away, and I was like, "All right, he might be drunk, like
Mhm.
whatever." I didn't really care.
Yeah.
I see him the next day. He's at Alphalete.
And this wasn't drinking the next day.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
See him the next day. I'm like, "What's up, man? I saw you last night. I don't know if you remember, but like, you know, like, I'm from Richmond too, and like, whatever." He was like, "Nice," and I could just, it was so sarcastic, so like,
Yeah.
who cares? Like, it was really
Yeah.
just, and I was just like, "All right, bro," like,
Yeah.
you know, and that was that, and then
Fuck.
And it's not like you're trying to be like, oh, I'm also from Richmond, so like we have a connection. It's
yeah,
more
like, put
you're
me
just
on.
you're just trying to like start a conversation.
Like
here's a
hometown. Like, what's
common-
up, dude?
Here's
Yeah.
a common thread between us. That's a way to start a conversation, you know. And
He like
and-
he could have been like, "Oh, where you from?"
Yeah.
in Richmond,
Yeah.
or
And-
vice versa.
Exactly, or maybe he's like, maybe he's used to people saying that and then trying to get on from it.
Mhm.
Maybe he was just like, "Bro, I'm not trying to hear this." But either way, it's just like, bro, like, I mean, I don't know. I personally don't think I don't come off like a fanboy. Like, I don't. I've met like a decent amount of people in the industry
Mhm.
from like going to those places, but like, I'm not like a fanboy. I don't
Yeah.
feel like I'm a fanboy at all. I don't.
Nice.
Like,
that's my new line. Yeah.
so when I went to like Alphalete the first time, and Sarah, shout out to Sarah, wanted to meet Christian, and I was just like, I don't got nothing to really say to him. Yeah, like
Yeah.
like he's an inspiration to me.
Yeah.
But like, what am I gonna say to this
Yeah,
guy?
what are you gonna
I got
say to
nothing
him,
to
yeah.
say to him. Like he's great,
It
but
is
like
a
everyone else
different,
is
like-
gonna tell him that. So
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
and it's not like me trying to act too cool. It's just like
Yeah.
he don't really want to meet me. He don't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
respectfully. He doesn't care about me. Like he's got 1,000 other people he's got to hear the same mess from. Over
It's
and over
tough,
again.
to be able to crack a cold conversation out of somebody like that. You'd have to like
When you
have,
know when they know you've stood in line or like paid to meet them, it's kind of
Yeah.
weird.
You
It
get
is.
sunned automatically.
Yeah.
And I like I stood in line to meet Bradley Martin for the second time for 3.5 hours.
shit. You almost
And
needed lunch with that
Shout
shit.
out to Bradley though. He's very good with his people. And honestly, I'm not at this point, I'm not sure if he actually like is rocking with me or he just is a good like he knows how to do it. But I met him and I get in line, I go up to him. He's like, "What's up, bro? How you been?" And like literally hugs me. And like we sat there and like joked around for a minute. He was like, "Thank you for staying in line." And I'm sure he says that to everyone. But like I watched how he talked to everyone else in front of me and I felt like, you know, he knew me a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yo, what time you going to the gym?" Like I was trying to get a workout in with him. And, excuse me. He was like, "I'm gonna go after this, like this time." And I think everyone I was with didn't want to go. I should have went anyways. I'm so mad. Anyways, I saw him another time, and he came up to me, said, "What's up? How you been?" He asked me if I was in the rain. I don't know what kind of video it was. What's that, Martini? He's like a strongman.
I don't know.
Anyways, he's with Rain too, but he like lifted us all up and whatever.
Shit.
But like he literally like he acted like he knew me, but like I said, I feel like until then, like I was like, I'm never going to stand in line to meet anyone again because that moment is like they sun you. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this. They're probably not gonna listen to it anyways. If they do, like it's no shade.
They just kind of zone out. Yeah.
But no. What I'm about to say. So this is not me trying to flex. Julian Smith, shout out to Julian Smith. He gave me his number, right? We were at the thing where he came to, and I've already met him a few times. He came to the Nutrition Corners, and you know, like I know people in the area that like love him, that tag him every time,
Yeah.
that do all this stuff, and like he has to see him because he's pretty good with comment and stuff. And like out of that, like I don't do that. I don't like literally. I didn't go up to him like, "Hey man, nice to meet you, bro." Like I don't remember how he actually came up to me in Alphalete, but he was like, "Yeah, Miles, like we're going here after, man. Like just text me." He's like, "You got my number?" And I was like, "Nah." But like I think that's the difference is like once you sun yourself, like being a fan,
Yeah.
it's like you really just kind of kill that bridge of ever like really kind of like riding the same wave as them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get that.
There's also different types of like people. I think deep down, I don't know the guy, but I think Julian's like a down
Good
home dude.
Yeah.
And some people, you know, they're overwhelmed. I get it, and like their personalities are already an introvert to begin with a little bit. That's why they're doing YouTube and like playing the character thing. And then it's like, well, fuck, I don't want to hang out with this guy outside of this. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna give you my number. But that's cool though that, you know, there's people out there like that.
Yeah, no, I think like Bradley's a good dude. I think Chris is a good dude, but I think he's also like I'm actually just like a bodybuilder, and like I love my fans and stuff, but like
Who?
I really want to go home.
Who am I,
Like Chris
Chris?
Bumstead.
Oh, Chris Bumstead. Yeah.
Like I feel like if you would have met him
Yeah.
first, he would have been like pretty, you know, whatever. But like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I think it's hard for him because he's not really a character.
No, he's not. And you know, for a while, I think he was, you know, I don't know. It's funny. He's got like the genetic jackpot in a way because, you know, obviously great physique. At 18, he looked like you know, a grown man. But at the same time, he's got this lisp, and you could tell in his like first couple videos, he probably wasn't very comfortable like speaking and vlogging and things like that. Now he's kind of made it his thing. I mean, it's part of like his.
It's like almost like a soundbite.
It's like Thavage, like he does all
Yeah.
these shirts and his products and all that. So he's just kind of owned it at this point. But you know, to your point, I'm sure he's still not, you know, the extrovert. Like I'm not an extrovert. Like I think that's one thing we talked about. Like a lot of people have this impression that I either, you know, think I'm the shit or like I just I don't like, if I don't talk to somebody, it's because I don't like them.
Yeah.
When in reality, I just don't like talking at all. Like I talk to like you, Maddie, you know, if Peyton or Jordan or these different members come up, like I'll talk to them, but I don't really go out. I don't like starting conversations a lot.
And
I'm
most
just
of the
kinda to
time,
myself.
we have stuff to talk about. Like,
Yeah.
I don't typically start conversations knowing that I don't have anything to like talk to you
Yeah.
about. If I don't
Yeah.
have anything to talk to you about, then I'll say hi,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna be a complete dick and like head
Blow you
down. But
off,
like,
yeah.
I'm probably, unless you have something to talk about.
I'm the
like,
same way.
Let's keep it going. Let's get our shit done, or let's
Yeah.
do something.
I mean, if I'm in a comfortable setting, I'm pretty outgoing.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I ultimately don't like going to some places because like I'm like, all right, I'm gonna know people. I don't really want to.
Yeah, like Maddie and I like
I even hate going to hang out with my parents or like family because they're like,
Oh,
so,
shoot.
well, I mean, listen, like I went out of town this weekend and they're like, so what you been up to? And it's like
yeah.
biking, working out,
I
and
know.
working. And they're like, oh, we're doing this trip or we just traveled here
Uh-huh.
and there. We're doing all this. I'm like, yeah, I've been biking.
I've been biking.
I
yeah.
like repeat it. It's
Yeah.
like, that's all I do. Like, I don't
Yeah.
have much to talk about to begin with
Yeah,
either. It's
sometimes
just like,
Maddie gets on me because I don't like either talk enough at family like get-togethers, or like, you know, I'll just kind of zone out when my parents are rambling about something, and I'm just like, I don't have anything to say. Like I don't, you know, I'm not gonna, like you said, I don't have a ton to talk about besides like my running, and I don't really, or like lifting, and I don't really want to bring that up because I'd have to explain all these things because you're gonna make an impression just based off, like everyone has common knowledge, right, about lifting or running, so they make these perceptions about, oh, what bodybuilding is, or oh, do you run those like marathons, and
Spartan
you know,
race? What?
yeah,
Do you
oh,
think it's a lack of interest more?
I think they're
Probably.
faking interest, and I don't want you to have to fake
No, I mean
interest,
I'm
you know?
talking about even like from like I guess you could say
Oh,
our side.
you mean like we're less interested in them or the
Yeah,
conversation?
like I feel like because I feel the same way, and sometimes it's really like I don't know what to say, but sometimes I'm like I'm gonna waste my breath talking to you, and
It's
I
that.
don't feel like
So
doing
it's
that.
it's not that I don't care about the person, but I know that the conversation leads to
pointless.
nothing. It's pointless. So we
Yes.
don't need to have it.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
I'm that way. I'm that way pretty bad, but like sometimes, it's like what you say. I'm like I don't know what to say. Like like
Classic
what do I actually
example.
say? Like
Classic example is the, hey, how you doing? Good. How are you? Good. It's
Already now.
nice, but
See you later.
there's no point
Yeah.
to it, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, how you been, big? Oh, just trying to get like you. You know, it's like,
yeah,
All
like
right.
what you been
It's
up
like-
to? I'm like God dang, what are like
Yeah.
just working.
Yeah, just
like
working,
that's
yeah.
what I said. Bike
yeah,
and work, and it's like,
yeah.
well, I mean, I don't know. It's tough because
Or you get the person that wants to tell you everything they've been up to, and they just want to talk about themselves, and you're like, why did I ask? You know?
yeah.
unless it's got some value to it. Like if you've
Yeah.
really been like doing something,
Isn't
if
that
it's just
sick,
like,
though?
oh, I've been like,
But I think that's obvious when you have it. Like us talking right now, it's like there's natural camaraderie or interest amongst ourselves, even if the camera wasn't on. Like we talked
Yeah.
before,
Yeah, for
we'll talk
sure.
after. But you know, if like you came in to lift, like, you know, since we haven't seen each other, we might catch up after. But it's not like I need to come up to you and ask about everything that you've been doing. That I shouldn't expect you to care about every single thing I've been doing, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's that with conversations. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but like I do generally, you know, I was actually thinking about the other day when I like commented on I don't know what thing was that your first time on 10,000 page?
Yeah, it was.
I knew that because
yeah,
obviously
yeah.
the podcast, and I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it
that's
was.
hype. Like, shout out to him or whatever.
Yeah.
You worked hard for that.
Yeah, like he really did. So shout out to you for that.
I appreciate it. No, I did. I appreciated that you commented. It definitely, I feel like it means, and that kind of goes back to it. It's like when you do have that conversation or you do have someone comment, you know they actually mean it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like to just comment on everything someone does unless I actually have an interest in it, or I like that you've been hustling or you've been doing this or doing that. You know it's not fake when I do it. You know what I mean?
So you say that, like, and I feel you. And I think some people take it so personal. Sometimes
Oh,
I
like
feel
not liking or not
yeah.
commenting? Yeah,
Well,
they
no,
do.
I try to like if I don't like your
Yeah,
stuff.
I usually like everything.
like
I try
if
to.
I don't like your stuff, like I don't see it. Because truthfully, I like everyone's
Yeah.
stuff because I try to show support because I know what it
And
I
means.
just
who
think
is-
I just think Miles doesn't follow me.
Yeah,
No, I'm just
and
kidding.
who is out there checking their likes for like, did Brock like
Oh,
my
no.
photo?
Oh, I do.
Never.
I do
I
sometimes.
don't do it.
It depends on the situation. It depends on
Miles
the
was like,
situation.
Austin didn't like my
No, 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 no,
I
I'll
know.
no,
look
no,
at my
it's not
stories
I know what you mean. I know
sometimes.
what you
I'll look
mean,
at the
yeah.
stories.
I'll check the stories.
I
but
check the
not-
stories
not my
to like
likes.
see like okay like sometimes like set of flex again like if like Beast Mode Jones or like
Yeah,
Julian
yeah.
looks at my
It's
story I'm
cool.
like okay I gotta up my content like this story can't be dry.
Like I do like to see people that don't like my posts that'll watch my
They'll
stories
watch your
every
story
fucking time.
every
though. I
time,
do
makes
like
me
that.
sick.
I get
And
addicted to
those
seeing
type
that.
of people or like when they want something like oh they start this page and then they're like oh what do you
yeah,
follow?
yeah.
You know what also bothers me? This is random, but like when people send me their post to go like it. I hate that.
Is that hold
so
on?
here's I get tagged not from
Yeah.
like 10,000.
Is that a new
but
thing where they tag you and it gets in a DM? I don't know how it works. I'm a boomer.
So
Yeah,
well,
yeah, that's a
it
new
is a
thing.
new
okay,
thing. It is
so
a
they
new
aren't
thing.
sending me that, right?
No.
Some do.
Okay.
They're
Some
like
do.
go like, comment, share. I'm like,
Don't
bro,
give it a
suck
like.
my nuts. I don't like it.
Yeah, no, there's
I'm
some
gonna make
dudes,
sure I send you one.
There's some dudes though that tag me, and it's like they tag 30 other athletes, and it's like, if I want to like your post, I will like it. You do not need to tag me to pressure me into liking or commenting. That's corny. You know, don't
Honestly,
do that shit.
I'm not gonna lie though. I don't hate that much. In a way, I respect it because I think like a long time ago that's been a thing. Like when I seen guys coming up, I saw that they used to do that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, if you send me this, like you're asking for me to like this, and this is very ungenuine. This is very like, I'm not gonna lie, I think he is, I think he is doo-doo on himself.
What does it smell like it?
Yes.
Yeah. Fuck. He might have
Um, I'm calling him out. But,
checking his
uh,
pants.
But, like, I just feel like I got some guys like that have followed me and like, hey, do you want to support each other?
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, like like let's do it because I know we're gonna help grow each other, whatever. But when you're like sending me your post and saying, hey, can you do this or can you do that? You good?
Air him out. Or you fucking crop dusted him, he said.
He told-
He's like,
dude,
Brock just shit
no,
his
look,
pants.
no, to be honest,
He's going to check
to
his
be
pants.
honest, dude, so you know that there's like half foods I eat
Yeah.
fucking make me gassy,
Yeah.
dude. It's not like I'm like forcing lactose intolerant shit, even though I'm lactose intolerant. It's not. It's like if Maddie makes, hamburgers, right? It's like 85% beef or something like that.
What she
Oh,
buys
it
it?
just
The
hits.
fatty shit?
No, sometimes we get it sent or whatever,
Oh,
in like the
okay.
every plates. But anyway, there's certain foods though that just get me. Nothing this morning, really. But
Something, obviously.
no, truth be told, I've been holding in majority, but I'm like squeezing, right, trying to hold it
Guts are about to
in, and
fucking
little bits are seeping out, and I'm like, man, I hope Miles isn't on
Seeping.
this. But
Nah, I
It
did
is,
when
it
you
is.
got up.
yeah,
Yeah, Miles was
oh,
like-
right, I was holding.
He might have just shit himself.
Yo,
No,
you-
I had to pee though. I had to pee.
In high school, did you ever like hold it and then your stomach starts bubbling like you sound
Oh,
like you're
God.
hungry?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
man, I'm
God.
hungry.
Yeah.
But then, I used to,
Gotta take it
I used to
down.
always sleep in. I used to always sleep in school, and
Yeah.
then like one would like just slip out. I'm like,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. That would suck. Speaking of like high
Dude, the
school,
worst is one time.
because we had this one bathroom that was like horrible. Everybody like you guaranteed it
Oh,
would have so
fuck.
much piss on the seat and shit, and it had the one stall in it, and you had to walk to the other side of school because I was in a small school.
Yeah.
So if you had to take a dump at the first 3 hours of the day, you were done.
I never
I
took a
took-
shit in a public school. Yeah,
Done.
you neither.
I did,
no, I didn't.
but
I
like
told my mom.
emergency
Hold it.
emergencies only though.
Yeah.
Like
My
I'd have,
stomach would be bubbling.
Yeah. No, but I had this one instance where Maddie's grandparents were over, right? So they're at like our not a current apartment, the one before. And they were like they brought over like a certain frame to hang or whatever. So like Maddie's over with her like grandma in like the bedroom or whatever. I'm with her granddad, and he's helped hanging up something, and he lets one rip.
I
And
think old people
on
just can't hold
purpose?
it either.
yes, and neither of us acknowledge it because I don't want to make a deal with him.
Did you just shit on me?
No, he just it's like a brr, and like he just acts like it didn't happen, and it's like the worst freaking smell too. And I'm like, are we just not gonna act like it happened? And we're like, nope, we're not. Yeah, and yeah, there's something with the old people; they just don't give a fuck.
The,
No,
the
look,
burnt out.
It was
O-ring.
so funny though. I told Maddie
Thank you.
because then Maddie and her grandma came around, and I know they're gonna smell it. I'm like, I looked at, I was like, it's not me, it's not me, and she was like, oh my god.
And like old
It was
people, man,
rotten,
it's
dude.
fucking their guts are just like
Yeah.
clogged up with 80
Yeah.
80 years of just sludge.
I was like, how are you gonna shit your pants and act like it didn't happen?
Bro.
Not do anything.
You get to that point where it's just like I don't give a fuck.
I would though if I was though with like my granddaughter's like boyfriend, I'd like laugh or crack a smile or something like that. I wouldn't just act like it didn't happen and like I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
What am I
Yeah.
like? Oh, did you just fart?
My grandfather
It's
sometimes would do like a fish joke, like he'd say, or like or not a fish, it'd be like a frog or something. He'd be like,
Yeah,
oh, frogs,
yeah,
frogs
yeah.
in the room. Oh, both frogs here.
I've never heard it either of my parents. Never.
My dad will do that shit. Like he was helping paint the front, and
It doesn't make it any better.
He was asking me about something, and so he like calls me over. We walk
Come
over.
smell this.
Yeah, and it was
No.
like there, and so it's not like he like had like did a new fart when I came over, but
Yeah.
he had just had it in
Just
the area,
wondering.
and I walk over. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what you just pranking me here? Like, what are we doing?
All right, now you can leave.
yeah, yeah. I didn't actually have a question. Yeah,
Hey, this is random, but do you guys cuss in front of your parents?
I do
Yes.
at this point. Yeah, yeah.
Not so much my in-laws.
Yeah.
I'll
yeah,
let
yeah.
like some small like shit or damn.
It's
or,
usually like parts of one-liner jokes. you know,
I'll
or shit
say
like
I'll
that,
drop
yeah.
almost anything in front of my mom.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you? When did like? Have you always?
No, probably like the last ever since probably I got married like 2 years ago. I don't know.
Really?
I've gotten to and it was me just not caring anymore. Literally, it wasn't like a point where I was like, oh, I'm old enough now. It's like I just don't care. And she doesn't care. She'll say shit right back to me. Not like
Really?
we're cussing each other
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
but she'll
yeah.
be like, oh, fuck that, or
Do you all call your parents by their first name?
no.
No, I feel like that's you must hate them.
I
Nah,
call
my-
my in-laws, yeah.
Yeah, some
I-
people do.
Yeah,
I don't even call my stepdad like I call my stepdad Herbert. I don't call him like his. I don't say dad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I was wondering.
What about you?
I mean, I don't
You're
cuss in
asking
front of
us.
anyone. So.
Oh yeah, you don't cuss.
I do
Say one.
cuss, but I don't cuss in front of
in
people.
front of people.
Say one.
No.
Oh, dude.
Oh, you guys are exceptions
So
today.
hold on. So like, what brings the scenario to cuss for you? Is it like out of slang or is it out of anger?
No, like so. I actually never cussed till I was like 25, maybe.
You just
Ever.
pure
Ever.
blown straight edge, drink, drug, or cuss.
Yeah. So
They call those saints.
my mom calls me her angel, but
Mama always said.
no, but
I'm the best.
I think it was my dad. I'm not sure. I really don't know, but my dad. I mean, he says a few words, but like he'll say the N word. Not like a lot, but he'll use it in like a sentence of like referring and like I don't know how to explain it, but like if
Like
he's
calling
repeating
somebody
someone-
a buddy or something like that?
No,
or?
no, no, no. He doesn't use it like that. He actually no, I should not cancel my dad, but he might if someone said it in a line or something like that, he might repeat it.
Oh, okay.
And
So
I
is
don't use
your
it-
mom white or your dad black?
Yeah, my dad's
okay,
black.
Gotcha.
yeah, I hope so.
I didn't know. I didn't know. Like I was like, let me double check. Hold on. It might be a little fucked up if he was, and that's why you didn't want to say it. If he was white and he was
No,
saying
I
that. I was like, all right, I get it now. He doesn't want to call his dad
Wait a
out.
minute, wasn't your mom? Yeah.
Nah, but like he'll say those. But anyways, he always I think like I'm just weird in general, but he's always preached like drinking and smoking is stupid, and if you cuss, like you just don't know how to talk and blah blah blah. And I literally like I don't know. I literally have no true explanation. Like I remember being young and we couldn't like I still feel uncomfortable saying it to this day. But like I'll say this, but like my mom didn't let us say like crap or fart. Those are two words that like we weren't allowed to say till we were like 12 or something like that. And I never said it like even until like I actually kind of started cussing. And then like long story short, my brother had made me really mad, and I was dealing with an ex that used to make me mad a lot. And it was just a bad day. I cussed. I actually cussed in front of my
What was the word?
the F word.
Oh.
And
That's got some weight.
and then like I wouldn't even put up my middle finger. Like I literally wouldn't do anything. And like my mom, like when we were younger, she like offered us a sip of beer, and my brother sister did, and I was like no. Like I literally there's
I still don't. Also gonna messes with me, but it's in good faith. I still don't care about like alcohol at all. Like we had some of that. What do you call it? The moonshine from what is it? Belle Isle.
Belle Isle.
Yeah, and I like that, but I feel like it's I other things that aren't alcoholic taste better for me. They're definitely healthier for me. If anything, like alcohol is like a performance dehancer. I don't want
Yes.
to put enhancers in my body, if anything. And and it's freaking expensive. Like you go to a ballpark, right? You're paying $12 for like a 12-ounce beer.
Yeah.
I'd rather just have like the $3 Pepsi,
Yeah, but I think like so I've never even tasted alcohol. But I think it's an experience. I think it's more of like it's a moment, and I think some people definitely go overboard with it.
And they lean on it for the experience, Like I can't have fun. I can't do this without it.
But it's almost like getting like like a corn dog or the popcorn
Yeah.
at the movies, like in a way. I mean, I'm not like.
corn dog at the movie.
I mean, no, corn dog at like
I
a
know
baseball
I know.
game.
I
or,
just
you
was
know.
thinking about how funny that'd be. You're in the freaking front row at Spider-Man, just house in a corn
I'd love
dog.
a
shadow,
corn- I haven't had a-
shadow, and just see
The glizzy.
got
Yeah.
the shadow on the wall.
Yeah.
You eating the corn
Yeah.
dog. It looks
Nice.
crazy.
Nice.
Nah, but I mean, I'm not against it. Like I'm not against it. I don't shame people, but I
Yeah.
kind of do also like have the same feelings. Like I remember going to a lot of college parties because I've been going to parties like since I was in like 9th grade. But like I never drank. But every time like a drunk girl would come up to me and they're like hitting on me or whatever, and then I tell them I don't drink, they're kind of like, "Oh, this guy's judging me." So like I started like I was like, man, maybe I should start drinking. But then I was like,
Nah.
man, if I have to start drinking to get girls, then this is whack.
Well, yeah, it's a societal thing. It's kind of like it pressures you into feeling both ways. One, you feel like you're doing something wrong. Why are you not drinking? Then also, people think if you don't follow in line, that you're kind of doing it out of a sense of defiance or looking down upon the
So,
other
Yeah.
people doing so.
I guess I can speak out of being more of an alcohol
drinker.
consumer.
Yeah.
I'm a lot less than I used to be, and I think the more I've been around people like you or one of my clients, Mark, who's like been sober for like 3 years, goes to AA meetings like every week. You don't drink that often. My family drinks a good bit, and I'll say like two things: the society or pressure of being in that like environment. It's hard to like relate with people. Like for example, that chick that was like
Yeah.
trying to holler at you that she was wasted. It's hard to like relate or like even want to be a part of it unless you're on that same level. So like
Yeah.
when you show up to a party like that, everybody else is like a level up, and they're like you see them having like fun, quote
Yeah.
unquote. So oh fuck it, I'm gonna have a few beers, loosen up, and have some fun too. And it's not fun until you get on their level,
Yeah.
and then like to that point, you're almost like
You got to
you're
almost
out of
buy
it.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then but. The second part is me being around these people that don't drink as much or, put focuses into other things. When I do drink, like this past weekend, I drank a ton Friday night. I didn't drink nearly as much Saturday. I had a few drinks. But the next morning, almost every time I drank a substantial amount, like more than 2 drinks,
So bad.
I feel bad. Not only like physically, like hangover physical, but like I feel like, man, I just wasted that night, or I'm about to waste the next day because I'm trying to recover a little bit. I'm dehydrated. I won't be able to go to the gym and like push as hard. I'm still feeling the effects. Like today, I showed up and I started to work out, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't feel good. I'm gonna
Yeah.
stretch."
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think like it's I don't like I said, I don't look bad on drinking. Like I don't think anyone should feel bad about drinking. Like now, if you're a waste of space the next day and like whatever, I mean, hey, if you don't care about being a waste of space, like do you? But go ahead.
I feel like if you drink, you just and this goes with smoking, it goes with anything. Is just sit down and analyze yourself and evaluate why you're doing it.
Yeah.
If it's for good reasons or for good faith, whatever, then that's fine. But if you look at it and you're like, I'm doing it not for myself or for my own experience, but for others' approval or because it's a scenario thing, then maybe it's not something that you should do. Or just sit and evaluate. Okay, why am I taking this action?
Yeah, because most of the time it is like, oh, I'm trying to fit in, or oh, everybody else is doing it, and
Yeah.
I could be, gullible in that situation where I'm like, oh fuck it, I'll just have a few,
Mhm.
just catch up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, at least for me, I usually I never look back and like, damn, I'm glad I got wasted last
Mhm.
night.
Yeah.
Like, usually I'm like, fuck, I wish I didn't drink. Or usually, like everybody else says, oh, I'm not drinking anymore.
But some-
go ahead.
sometimes like even like my girl, because she drinks, and I'm like, man, like I'm not gonna lie, something like, man, like, wonder if she'd rather have a boyfriend that drank with her. Like honestly, sometimes I think that
You
like,
boring.
yeah, like oh, we go out to dinner, let's get a drink
Yeah.
together, like let's go, have some like I guess drunk
Share a
fun together,
margarita
or
yeah.
like, oh, what about on the like everyone's always like, what about on your wedding day? Like I'm like, why does it matter? But like things like that, I'm like, man, like I don't know, like are we missing out quality like memories where we get a drunk Uber ride home together? Like like sometimes I think that, but then like at the same time, like she knew I didn't drink from the start, so it doesn't matter. But like I think about that. I'm like, man, I'll never forget someone before I started the site. There and this might not be a good like thing, but I've thought about with drinking, like I mean I guess I have my own stories, but like I remember being in high school or going to college parties, my friends would be like, like do something crazy drunk, right? And then I tell all my other friends how, yeah, they did this, and I'm like, man, I don't have any stories.
So that's what I was gonna say is, there's almost a sense of, am I doing something wrong with my life when I look at it, and I'm still like, kind of in those years to where everyone's like, oh, you're crazy young 20s, right? All these hookups, frat parties, parties in general, getting drunk, drinking on your 21st birthday, and getting blacked out. I don't have any of these experiences. I don't have these crazy stories. I have stories
Can't tell
about
your kids about it.
I have stories about going on, a trail run or running a marathon or like,
It's like,
opening up a
this
business.
guy's
or-
a fucking hardo.
You won't
Fuck
believe
that guy.
you won't believe what this member did. It's like, it almost makes you feel like you're missing out because there's a large population of society that has these shared experiences of, going to college,
general, yeah.
having fun parties, having hookups or crazy exes, and when you don't have that, when you live a little bit more straight edge, it almost makes you feel like you're doing something wrong, even though maybe you're doing what makes you happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something I battle with sometimes, but
Yeah. No, I do too a lot because like I want to have kids and stuff, so I'm like, man, like I'm gonna have to tell my kids about this guy when he got drunk and what happened to him on his first birthday.
your
21st
granddad
birthday.
stayed home that night.
Yeah, right. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, I want my kids. I just stuttered bad.
I didn't even notice.
I want my kids to be able to like come to me like if they want to drink. Like I want them to be like, oh yeah, this I did this. This is what happened, instead of them having to just go out and.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess my girl will be able to do it, but
yeah, and hopefully you can just give experiences of
Go
people that
ask
you're
your
around.
mom.
Be
Yeah.
like all the hopefully not scaring them to where they want to try it, but like giving the experiences of the people that you hung out with that were drinking and being like, oh, this is what happens. This is what those people usually do and turn out to be. But if you want to be, trying to twist it in a positive way to where they don't like. Sometimes if you try and like, what is it like? Almost like
Shelter
church them up,
yeah.
like they want it even more. They're like, "Oh fuck, Dad's just trying to keep me away from it. I
Yeah.
want some." No, you don't want none of this.
You don't want to do it.
yeah, no, for sure. I don't know.
It's tough, man. But that's awesome. Respect to you for not like ever
See,
breaking.
But that's the thing. It's like, I mean, I guess.
I
in
know
a way,
there's no pressure for you, like
Yeah.
deep down, because that's just life for you. But like seeing it in my shoes, I still could, even though I've said like, oh, I regret getting wasted 9 times out of 10. I can still be talked into a drink kind of easy. Like, oh, you want to have a beer?
It's gotta be fun. It's gotta be fun.
But
I hate when people.
my
like,
levels have changed, though. Obviously, everybody does when you get older. Not everybody. Some people still fucking get hard,
Yeah.
wasted at 30 or 40. But I just realized there's
consistency, my friend.
consistency and like almost like you said, like I'd rather put uppers or like not uppers
Mhm.
and like drug form, but
right.
performance
enhancers. Over
enhances,
de-enhancers,
Yeah.
sometimes it makes me feel like my performance is up in the bed if I have a few drinks, but it most likely isn't. It's just me.
Like I know, like,
Like, I
She
crushed.
liked it, yeah.
I crushed.
the famous one for me is like the person stumbling in front of me talking about, yeah, drinking is stupid. Like, yeah, like I don't like doing it that often. Like, whatever. It's my friend's birthday, and then I see him the next weekend. But like, I'm like, look, I'm shoulder to shoulder with 100 other people in this bar. It can't be. I mean, yeah, it might be stupid when you like really break it down, but it's gotta be fun. Like, I never take that away from it. It's like I'm not the type like, why are you drinking that? Like, unless I know it's gonna be a bad outcome after you drink that, like you're gonna be very sloppy or something. Like, I'll even be like, oh, you're babysitting. You know what I'm saying? So like, I never look down on it, but I don't know, man. It's just not for me. Like, it's just I just feel like it's expensive. I'm like, when I was younger, I'm like, dang man, like how do y'all do this and then survive after? Like, how do
Yeah.
y'all spend all this money at the bar? And then it's
Yeah,
like,
it's expensive, dude.
you know, like shout out my friends. I'm about to put them down, but they go to the club and buy sections, and I'm like,
What do you
yo,
mean?
that's the dumbest thing
Like
ever.
VIP type shit.
in Richmond, I'm like, bro, there's no good looking girls in this club.
It ain't worth it.
It's not worth it at all. Like, go home. But I'm like, how are y'all affording this? You know what I'm saying? My manager's called me twice. But
Ooh.
you know, it's like, how are y'all affording this? Y'all
Bring him on the
wasting money.
podcast.
Get
bro.
him on the show.
He's
You're
cool.
alive.
Shout out my manager. But you know, like, it's just a waste of money. You feel bad. It's not good for you.
Yeah.
And like, you know, the next day it's just like, what is the actual point? You know, like, oh, to have fun with your friends, to link. Then yeah,
Unless,
maybe, but
like you said, you're in a population where you're able to like pull some crazy looking girls.
yeah.
Like what? Not that everything needs a return, but like where's the return on like that
Yeah.
investment into that?
For
VIP?
sure. No, for sure. I'm like, yo, if I was single and there was a bunch of like
Like,
bad joints in here,
Bad.
then like cool. But either way, they're gonna try to finesse you for your drinks.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you know, if you don't have game, then they're just gonna finesse you and it's gonna be gone. Like, so for me, it's like, why are you
Yes, I got
like,
Pamela tonight.
like, why are you wasting all this money for nothing in return?
Yeah.
Like you get, if you want to like who are you flexing from? There's no point in buying a section.
Yeah.
There's literally no point. Like if you're gonna stand in this section with just your friends, why? Like
could
why
do
don't
it
you just buy? Yeah,
out in the
go
open.
home, play, or go home and play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man.
So I guess to switch gears a little bit and polish this thing off. I don't want to put it out there in the open, but do you have any thing going into 2022? Any goals or anything like that you're working on, or?
I mean, like one I said earlier was like I just want to be able to get back to like feeling like I'm not feeling like I'm young again, but feeling like having fun going to the gym. Like
Yeah.
that's one of my biggest ones, like being present, because that's why I asked you earlier. I have like felt like, dang man, like am I done? Like I have
No.
felt like that feeling of like, not am I done? I don't feel done. Like I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm growing, but like, just like, how am I gonna be able to appeal to this different generation? You know, like how am I fitting in? So like for me, it's like I don't need to focus on that. I just need to focus on what I love because,
Yeah.
like what we talked about, my niche is gonna come to me.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like it has been, but you know, whatever. So I've been focused on that the most because like I'll like wake up, you know, I'm like, man, like what I need to do today, like to change. Because like I personally, and maybe I'm delusional, I feel like I have the potential, but it's like I feel like I'm not doing something right. So like I'm always like constantly trying to figure out, all right, what do I need to do different? What do I need to stop doing? What do I need to change? What do I need to add in? And I'm not a big faith guy, so like I'm like, no, if I sit there and let it come to me, I'm gonna be
Yeah,
right
I
here.
think that's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, so I've been focused on that, and then I don't really want to say too much about it, but Underrated Minds has been like my biggest like focus, I guess you could say, and then online coaching, and that's really it. Like, and getting over body dysmorphia from taking steroids.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Are you completely off?
yeah, I've been off since.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah,
Real
okay.
brief.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how has that experience been? Because when we first had you,
Let me see
no,
them
when we-
titties.
When we last
I'm
had
just
you
kidding.
on, you were.
Off.
Did we have? Yeah,
Yeah,
you've
I think
been
you were
off.
like
You
2
just
weeks
got
off,
off.
right?
Yeah,
2
we
or 3
talked
weeks
about
off?
it. Yeah. So, what is your current? I guess plan. I guess you kind of already said you're off. I assume you're staying off, but kind of talk about, I guess, your experience coming off, how you feel about the situation.
Young kids don't take this as advice or follow.
Not medical advice.
And I hate myself. I don't like admitting this. There's nothing to brag about. I didn't PCT. I feel fine.
She cold turkeyed.
Cold turkey. I feel fine. I'm normal.
The
I'm
pole
up.
still get up.
I'm up.
Yeah, the
Oh,
wee
he's
wee's
up.
working.
The
He's up.
He's on the up.
I noticed actually my testicles did shrink a little bit. I didn't think they did, but they did, and
Like
they're
come back.
They're
a
back.
little bit? Okay.
No, they're back.
Oh, shit.
And,
Swinging.
Yeah, I mean the thing is like I never felt different at all. Most people say they feel great on it. I didn't feel any different at all.
Yeah.
I wish I PCT'd. I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to do blood work. I'm scared of it. I'm literally terrified. Like that is
Scared,
my
yeah.
biggest fear in life.
I get that. Yeah.
Like it's bad because like before I kind of
Did you get blood work done before?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I kind of thought I had the I built the confidence. I was like, okay, like because thinking about it makes me feel like literally like weak. Like I could pass out on you if we talk about it for too long. And I finally like one day I was just like, I think I'm good enough to go do it. And I went and did it. And because like it's not the pain. It's literally like I just don't like the idea of it. But anyways, I go in there, bad experience. and it made it worse. Like now I'm like even more like I would rather have a heart attack than go get my like literally it's pathetic, but I
so
really
you
feel
did
that way.
go and
I haven't gone post, but I did before.
so you said you did go before and that made you nervous.
It made my like fear of it or phobia of it like way worse.
And it's just
Oh, way
simply
worse,
you like assuming that there's probably something that you don't know about happening on the inside that you're scared about learning about.
I think that does play a factor, but
Or is it just
there's something with
the needle?
this or this. I think I said it before, but when I was in 4th grade, I had a big, huge surgery, and they were doing the thing, and it didn't go right.
Oh, it's like needles,
Like a
and
IV.
Like
IVs, the
Making
thought of
it
IVs.
So you don't donate blood at all?
No.
Oh shit.
I've
No,
only been.
I'm gonna ask
gotten an
everyone
IV
else
once.
before if my mom needed it. Like I'm gonna be
Yeah.
like, please, just do this for me, please. Like I hate it more than anything. I can get a shot. The pinning didn't bother
Yeah.
me. If they could cut my
So
leg
you
and
almost-
get blood, I would do that.
Oh shit.
Seriously, like I just
Get it
do.
from that neck vein,
Mhm.
dog.
I just do not like the idea of that. It just grosses me out.
Damn.
So, anyways, yeah, that's the reason why I haven't been. I'm pretty sure I'm good though.
Well, I think youth's on your side. You would hope.
And I didn't do it long, and it wasn't
Yeah.
as high as most people do it. I mean, I want to go get it checked, but I'm just literally I'm that scared. So I haven't. I don't know. Like part of me, like wants to get on just like even just a TRT, like very small part of me because like it is hard. I mean, everyone said it, but like it is hard to like know how crazy I looked, and then like.
Yeah, you get so high when you come down, it just feels down. you
Yeah.
know?
It doesn't like feel down for me. It feels down for my social media.
Oh, okay.
I'll
Well,
be
you
honest.
see yourself at your best, or technically your most optimal, and you're
Yeah.
like, "Fuck, that's what I could be if I just
and
took
I was
it."
cutting. I'm like, man, I was cutting. Just imagine if I was bulking
Yeah.
at all. Like that would be crazy. And like, and then I see, like I said, like, yeah, how I looked, how people loved it on social media. Like that's really is. I'm happy how I look now.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean. But like, I grow off of how I looked. And so like for me, it's like, well, would a TRT dose like kill me? But I'm like, I didn't like anything about doing the cycle.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I didn't want to do it originally, but I wanted to win the show, so that's why I did it. But I don't think I'm going to.
Well, if you're up for it, I'm in the process of looking for like TRT doctor's prescription, so I'm getting like
I gotta get
legitimate.
blood,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I guess so.
and that's
'Cause-
because if I think if I was okay with giving blood, I think I would actually.
Yeah.
I might even compete regularly. Honestly, not regularly, but like appropriately. Like
Mhm.
I probably would compete. Literally, I just can't.
I
Like
thought you were going to compete no more.
I know because I'm not giving blood, and I need to hop on the site.
Yeah.
Like seriously, I don't know. I just I'm spooked to give blood, and I feel like if I were to continue to do it, I need to give blood, especially if I went
yeah.
to a doctor. I would need to give blood, and I literally just can't. I can't.
I got when I last went to my primary care, which I didn't really even need to go because I'm young, healthy, not doing anything too crazy, and he told me like I don't really need to see him for a few years anyway. But he gave me like a slip to go get like my blood work done for like it's like included or paid with the insurance. I've just been lazy to do it, and I feel like I don't really need to do it because nothing's wrong, but it still is good to know like certain markers for like genetically
Yeah.
or whatever. I've just been fucking lazy, dude. I don't like hospitals. I don't like doctors and
And that's a pretty
hospitals.
quick
I know
visit.
most
If they're
people are
just
like that.
pulling blood, it's like 5 minutes in and out.
Yeah.
Pretty quick. But it does suck because like the anticipation, they put the band around it, they tap it, hey, squeeze your wrist,
Yeah.
and they try to give you like a weird conversation like while they're doing it, and I'm
Really
just like
passed
looking away.
out.
Yeah.
I think the slip is good for like an entire year, so I think I have like another like few months. Maybe we should go do it.
Yeah.
I also
Fuck it.
yeah.
we'll go
I'm al-
together, Miles.
No, we will not.
And the next thing you know, they flip. Oh, it looks like you signed you up for a prostate
Oh,
exam.
fuck, yeah.
It's like, no, I gotta bounce.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No. See,
Damn.
I just and I'm also scared. Like what is that, hypochondriac? No,
Yeah.
is that what it is?
Hypochondriac, yeah.
Yeah. So like also too like I think I'm dying at all times, and that's another reason why I don't want to do the psych because I thought I was getting gyno the whole time. I thought I was like just dying the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, and I felt fine, but like in my head, I'm like, man, like I literally might be dying right now.
I kind of go through that too, but I don't talk about it a lot. I'm like, man, today I feel like today could be the day that I die.
I mean,
Like I just feel some days I just feel so run down.
Speaking of needles, not that we have to get, I don't know, everything's
Yeah.
controversial with this nowadays, but my client just texted me, I had to cancel because he just got the COVID. He's vaccinated,
Mhm.
and he had like the actual like flu 3-4 weeks ago, like right before Christmas or
You
whatever.
got a wham bam.
And so it's like, what the fuck? But apparently, like this new Omicron shit, it's like everyone gets it, but it's just like a cold,
So
you know.
I think, and I
It's
won't
so-
put their
it
names
seems
out there,
annoying.
but 2 of my clients that
Have it
didn't
too.
show up. One that didn't show up
Probably.
today definitely had it. He said his whole family got it, and
yeah,
then the other one that we mentioned the name of earlier
yeah. I know
got
what
it.
you're
as
honestly,
well.
I mean, I don't know. I know it hits everyone different, but I'm kind of scared of it. I'm not gonna lie to you. And like, I know like media probably does their thing on pushing it, but like, I literally
Yeah.
know like it's not even media. Like, I haven't heard anything from the internet. Like, I've just known people that got it,
Yeah.
and I got like a lot of people even got the first one. I got it, and I was hurt bad. My girl was fine. She was like, "Why are you being such a baby? It's not that bad." I'm like, "Nah, I'm hurt." Like, I was. Like, literally, it hurt to be out of the blanket. Like, I was messed up. So, like, I'm not going to lie. I'm not scared I'm going to die, but I just don't want to be that sick.
Yeah.
So, like, I've been kind
Yeah.
of, like, nervous about it. Like, I'm not even going to lie. I was like, man, I know these people up here don't wear no mask and stuff. And I'm not even a masker. Like
Yeah.
but, like, me and my girl get into this all
Some
the time.
people get very, like real. What's the right term? I don't know. Real rigid or very on edge would be the right term about how certain other people like respond to the whole situation, you know. And it's without understanding. Like, you know, most people, if you have a conversation, then you know you could understand each person's point of view or however they want to react to like the pandemic, things like that more. And there's general things that everyone should or could do and things like that. But yeah, I'm lucky I haven't gotten it. My dad thinks he had it like a while ago, like or over a year ago. But
I hope this doesn't start a tangent, but me and my wife had a talk about this in the ride home yesterday about just like people being on edge. And she was like, I really want to go dancing. She's big into swing dancing. Used to do classes all the time. I went and did a couple classes with her, but they haven't done it since like day one with COVID.
I can't
Yeah.
see you swing dance.
Yeah, I did it a couple times. I'm not very limber,
Oh, I know.
very stiff.
You-
But anyways, they haven't done it since COVID. They've been doing it via Zoom.
Yeah.
So you do it in your living room with everybody
Still?
else. Yeah, still. But they said they're about to open it back up. Guess what?
Gotta
you
show proof.
you need your vaccine, you need your booster,
Oh.
and you still need your fucking mask and a test.
Oh.
Look, all right.
All three plus the mask plus a test before you
damn.
fucking
I feel
come.
like this is the perfect platform
Oh
to
shit.
say this. And it's the end of the podcast, so who knows where I'm
Drop that shit, dude.
All right.
Cancel this dude.
I'm ready for this because
He wants to smoke.
if you are a look, Sam, my girl used the word chastising. If you are a chastising vaxxer, like if you don't have the flu shot, I hope you get the flu. No,
Oh.
no, I was about to say something crazy. Okay, this is my point of view.
Oh,
Before
it's
I
about to
say
go
that,
off. Have a severe,
before I say
deathly
that,
winner.
Yeah.
if you get the vaccine and you believe you should get the vaccine, good for you. I respect it.
Yep.
Do you? If you believe that you shouldn't get the vaccine and you don't push it, I respect it. Do you? I have a very big problem with the people that push it and judge you and treat you differently
Yes.
for
On
not
either
getting
direction,
it
100%.
and don't
yeah.
have the flu shot. Because if their message is, what about population? The flu kills a bunch of people. It's been around
As
for
well,
over 100
yeah.
years.
Fucking
What about
A.
those people? You don't
Yeah.
care. Oh, those 52,000 people that died in 2018 before they started making the flu
Yeah.
COVID. You know,
Well, that
like
makes
changing
sense,
it.
and also with I guess like statistically, you might have a better time dealing with it, and B might have a lesser chance of getting it. But people with the vaccine and even with the booster are still getting COVID.
Yes.
Old
and are
people are
still
going to
getting-
die from the flu. Old people die
Yeah.
from the flu. They'll die from anything. Like,
Yeah.
so it's just like,
Well,
oh,
it's
if you're
not just old
protecting-
people, but comorbidities. Like obesity is one of the biggest
Your heart,
factors.
But what-
diabetes, asthma, shit
Exactly,
like that.
but what I'm saying is just like, don't be a hypocrite and don't chastise me. Like, and then my girl's like, well, you're like anti-vaxxer. You're judging those people that I'm like, no,
No,
I'm not.
I'm
If-
pro-choice.
Yeah.
No, truthfully though, the thing is if it would also be very weird. So this doesn't make sense. But if they came to my house with a COVID shot, I'll get it. If they said everyone has to get the flu shot and the COVID shot, I'll get it. I won't have any problem with it. I don't know what's in it. I don't care. I will get
You
it.
just feel like they got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I just feel like it's like, yes, it will kill people. Yes, it's spreadable. Yes, I'm not doubting that at all. But I personally, I don't have the flu shot, and the flu shot kills people too. Both my grandparents are dead, but if I had the flu and I didn't have the flu shot, and my grandparent got the flu, they would probably die. And you know what I'm saying? So what about them? What about the elders in this situation? Because the flu's been around for 100 years, and if you look, it's killed 52,000 people before, like I said, they started making flu the COVID. Like, people going
I
to
just
the
don't
flu.
like the dishonesty on either end to what you're talking about, to where you have, people who are choosing not to get this vaccine, and, they're being called anti-vaxxer, and people are acting like you still can't get the vaccine, or you still can't get COVID, or, it's basically like acting like one side is holier than thou, and on the other side you have people saying, these people getting the vaccine doesn't even work, or masks don't work. And I think there's always truth in between, but at the same time, you can't ignore that some people are still getting COVID. You can't ignore the side effects and the adverse reactions that are also occurring with the vaccine, but also you can't ignore that the vaccine is also like working. It is effective. It's just there's too much animosity on both sides. It just
and there's a
leaves people
lack of responsibility. There's a lot of self-entitlement with people that think that I need to protect them, or they need to protect me by making me get a vaccine or a shot.
That's what I'm saying.
It's my responsibility to make sure I live to see tomorrow.
That's
It's
what
not
I'm
your
saying.
responsibility. It's not your responsibility if I make it to tomorrow. And vice versa. It's not my responsibility to make sure you make it to
Right.
tomorrow either.
It's like I said this. It's like, because she was like, yo, you're like chastising those people that want you to get the vaccine to help other people. I'm like, no, I'm not. I was like, it's like the same thing. It's like, okay, obese people, they need to work out straight up. They, I'm not being rude. If you're obese and you're okay with that, be obese. But I also wouldn't go up to an obese person and say, hey, you need to work out. You're going to die. You know what I'm saying? And it's the
there's a
same
different way of
thing.
approaching
It's the
it,
same exact thing. And I think,
It's
like,
essentially the same argument.
don't be a hypocrite. Like, that's my biggest, I think, like, what triggers me the most is don't be a hypocrite. Don't be obese and sit there and be worried about the vaccine. Don't be, like, in the flu shot. That's the big one for me. Like, if you don't have both, if you have both and you want to chastise me, you better not be fat. But
Hey,
but you know what I'm saying? Like, fine, I respect it, and I'm not gonna battle with a random person about it. I'm going to be that person that's gonna agree with them.
Yeah.
But like, I think, like I said, at the end of the day, it's like, just don't be hypocritical. If you care about this, don't eat this, don't do that, don't smoke this, don't smoke that, don't do this, and don't make me try to feel like a bad person because I have my own choice. Like, I know people that got all the boosters or whatever and got the vaccine and spread it to their whole people.
Yeah.
So, like, why are you worried about me? Like, I survived the vaccine. Like, if you're worried about me dying,
the problem with it too, and we could probably ramble forever, but
yeah, no.
the thing is too, it's like it's almost like you make one decision, people want to throw a million other different labels on you. So it's like if you choose to not get the vaccine or not get the flu shot, whatever it is, you're an anti-vaxxer rather than you just don't feel like it's the most healthy option for you, or you'd rather take your risk.
Please
not
get
getting
the
it.
shot if you want it.
Yeah.
exactly.
Please.
And then so they throw that on there, then they assume your political ideologies with other things, and they just assume you're all these these different terms or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just not. It's not.
I hate people.
It's disingenuous. It's not fair. It's not accurate.
for sure.
And
And there's an implied risk to everything, right? Like, if you can go out and, if you're showing up to a large event or a gym or whatever, a business, there's going to be other people there, so there's implied risk that there's a good chance you might get COVID.
It's like,
Don't leave your fucking house then if you're scared.
exactly. Don't go through the drive-through. Don't go through the drive-through. Like, and that was when COVID first started. That was one of my arguments with Sam. Was like, okay, think about this for 1 second. These workers at these fast food places. Shout out to all of them. I'm not trying to throw any shade. They don't care. First of all, you think when this person in the car behind me, if they have COVID or before me has COVID, they hand their card over. If it's so spreadable like it is, and I'm not saying it isn't or is, I'm not trying to, fight that battle, and they hand their card over, right? And those person swipe their card, they're touching this, they're touching that. It's going to get passed through that whole line all day. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, look, COVID's here. It's real. I've had it. And, it effed me up. I ain't going to lie. But, like, I think at the end of the day, it's just, if you want to get the COVID shot, like, I told Sam, I was like, if we had kids and you want to get the kids a COVID vaccine, go ahead. I'm not going to be like, no, don't get it. I don't care about it. I just don't think, like, if I thought getting the flu shot was important, then I would probably get the COVID shot. And it's the same thing as, like, to be hypocritical. You know, Fairlife. Did y'all see that thing that happened with Fairlife when they were
milk?
kicking the cows and all
Yeah.
that stuff? Did y'all see that video?
No.
I saw a little bit of it.
It was
yeah.
viral. Like, people were kicking the cows and beating.
shit.
And I remember, like, I posted me, 'cause I used to drink the Big Boy, like, one a day. And
They're like, Miles, you're kicking cows.
they're like, you see that video about this? That's so messed up. And I was like, are you vegan? And they're like, no. Then I'm like, shut up, please.
Yeah.
Because if you think about all the chickens, oh, this is organic chicken. You think if all these chickens are truthfully organic, we would still have some, like, you know, like,
Yeah,
or
you
all these
can't- you
cows
can't
or all these meat.
Be half side on some of these arguments.
hate that.
Yeah.
And
if
push
you're
it on
gonna,
someone.
if you can't be half and half, if you're going to chastise people and demonize people for their decisions.
Exactly. That's bottom line.
You
for
better
me.
be pure, and no one is. you
That
know?
exactly. That's my bottom line. It's like I don't push my opinions and like like force you, make you feel bad about whatever you want to do. Like I have friends that honestly, I'm not gonna lie, are like really honestly borderline racist, and I'm half black. And as long as you treat me with respect, you can say the N word behind my back all you want. Like whatever. Just treat me with respect, and I'm not gonna treat you different. I mean, maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong for not. But like at the end of the day, for me. And coming at me personally, however they want to come at y'all to the next person, it's like, don't be a hypocrite because it's going to bother me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, don't be a hypocrite because, like you said, you're not pure. So let's attack that after you want to come at me for your little thoughts of what everyone's pushing on you. You know
Well,
what I mean?
I got the bladder of a 2-year-old, so let's wrap this boy
Yeah.
up.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for hopefully lasting this long throughout the show.
Oh, they did.
I'm glad to have you on, man.
This is a
Every
good
time,
one.
every time you come out, not to say anybody else that comes on doesn't have some good topics, but we can just flow all day. I feel
Yeah.
like we could fuck up
Yeah,
some time.
we really could. I hate that because like
Yeah.
I'm also like wanting to continue, but I'm
Yeah.
like looking at the time.
we could have
like,
a
Yeah.
Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah,
We'd take
a
an
4-hour
intermission, a
joint.
lunch break. But anyways, thank you for coming on, Miles. Hopefully we'll have you back on again.
Yeah.
Some more topics and whatnot. Make sure you follow us all in the description below.
Share the show, hopefully, because you
Share the
enjoyed
show.
it, not because you want to cancel us.
Let us know what your
Yeah.
thoughts and opinions are in the
Yeah.
comments.
Yeah.
We'd like to see
I
that.
don't really care.
Oh, I don't care.
Well,
either.
Miles doesn't, but drop them there because we need that engagement. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, literally.
But anyways,
see
guys,
y'all.
until next week, we'll see y'all out.